Wait, that's not what I should be doing. Instead of doing this, I should be doing this. We're talking about dehydration. Let's dish this and get straight to it. Guys, it's me, Aset, and I just want to say, before you do anything else, I need you to like, subscribe, and share, and also comment. Today I want to talk about signs of dehydration. Balm, lip balm, Vaseline. Let's get to the bottom of it holistically. Why are our lips dry, and what should we do about it instead? I just want to give you some tips on how to keep your lips moisturized instead of buying balms that's filled with all kind of yucky stuff. So I'll keep it short, simple, and very snappy. First sign of dehydration, dry lips. Naturally, your body is telling you you are being dehydrated and you need to do something about it quickly, because the first sign that it will show is dry lips or dry mouth. 2, bad breath. Have you ever noticed that when your mouth is dry, you tend to get this nasty, yucky taste in your mouth? And then sometimes when you lick your skin and then you smell it, you ever wondered, either 1, you didn't brush your teeth, or 2, dehydration. Dehydration can give you plenty of signs that you're going into a shrivel mode. 3,
dry and itchy skin.
a lot of times people that have eczema is dealing with dry skin. The root of eczema most times have a lot to do with sugars. Sugars goes into the body and then it begins to suck water out of the body, which causes dry, itchy, patchy skin. So instead of picking up a soda, next time pick up some water. 4, dehydration shows up in many different ways, and dry, itchy scalp is one of those ways. Ever notice that you get patches and flakes in your scalp a lot of times and you just can't solve it, and then they tell you to do a topical, which is head and shoulders? Well, that's just a fix me up really quickly result, but there's a deeper meaning behind it, and the deepest meaning behind it is dehydration. So if you feel that you have been having dry, itchy scalp, that's the reason. 5, hair follicles, hair loss. A lot of times when your hair starts to shed a lot, it's because you're lacking water. So if you want that hair to stay in, try water and much more of it if you're not getting enough. And also sometimes it can have a lot to do with thyroid issues. So be sure to check into that with your doctors and find out if you have thyroid issues. And a lot of times thyroid issues can be resolved with a simple dosage of iodine supplements, but we're not talking about that today. If you want to hear more about thyroid, subscribe, and then we'll talk more about it in a later video. And let me say this, I am a holistic practitioner and I study holistic ways to fix issues naturally. So I am not a physician, I am not a doctor. I'm just sharing some information with you guys because I think it's beneficial for all of us to know how to take care of ourselves naturally. 6, dry hair, split hairs. Have you ever noticed when you are cutting your hair or taking a look at your split ends and you snip away with some shears, if you've noticed the tip splitting and shearing when you do shear it off, that's a sign of dehydration. So if you want those hairs to not split so badly even after you decided to clip your ends, take in more water to nourish the hair from the rooty to the tootie, and your hairs will grow fine just the way they're supposed to, but it cannot thrive if you're dehydrated. Remember, your body is made up over 70% of water. So if you're below that level, you're in trouble. 7. Brittle nails and cuticles. Your cuticles can be very dry, and your nails can be very, very flaky. So if you're dealing with flaky nails and dry cuticles, that's the sign of dehydration. So start drinking up so you can get those nails to grow nice and healthy so they don't split, and you can grow them out the way they're supposed to grow out. Now, if you don't take care of the hydration, then now you're dealing with internal issues. 8. Eyes. If your eyes are dry, itchy, red all the time, we ain't talking about the ganja people, okay? We're talking about those who typically do not smoke. Just a everyday situation where your eyes, your vision is getting irritated, blurry. 1, sugars. Sugars, once again, they go into the nerve endings and they suck all of the water out of those nerve endings when things get a little bit more severe. And if you're not eating a lot of sugar, then we're back to dehydration. So taking more water to get that body hydrated so your body can thrive the nice way it's supposed to. 9. The biggest telltale, dark urine. Dun, dun, dun. Dark urine. Dark urine is one of the biggest tells when it's showing up internally. It's going to tell you right then and there, yo, I'm dried out, I'm getting low on water, and look at the color. The color will tell you everything when it comes to how much water you're taking in and how much water that's not being taken in. So if your urine is not clear in color, then that means that you're not getting enough water in your system. If your urine is clear in color, good job. It is hard trying to stay hydrated. It's a job of its own, and I know it's very tough. That's why I always keep this baby right here full, and each day I make sure I fill it up, and at the end of the day, if there's still some water in it, I know I've been slacking. So this is about maybe 80 ounces of water, and it's called Zeus. I get it from Walmart. So you can easily stay on track with one of these. And this right here, it most definitely will help your urine to keep that clear color. 10. My favorite. The good old lack of constipation. Boy, oh boy, it feels great when you can go to the pooper. I'm just saying. I'm not afraid of that area because that's my favorite time of the day. I must say, it feels great. And anybody that agrees with me, give me a thumbs up down below. And make sure you subscribe to this channel because I am trying to build it up so I can share more information for those who really care and those who really want to do things naturally. So constipation, and when you do try to go and you happen to remove the waste or relieve the waste from the body, a lot of time the poop is pretty clumpy, and that's a sign of dehydration. Simple fixtures. So we don't want a simple fixture to turn into a more horrific and deadly one. So keep that body hydrated so you can keep your body flowing and removing waste out of your system, because at the end of the day, it's going to turn into inflammation, lack of absorbing nutrients, and so on and so on. And the list goes on and it goes downhill. So we don't want that. So stay at least a full 60 to 80 ounces of water daily. Watch and see how your body begins to respond to everything, all the water intake. And also you'll see a big improvement on waistlines. Your waistline will begin to shrink. You'll feel so much happier because so many toxins have been removed. You'll feel so much better. When you take a really good pooper, let me tell you, when I do, oh, it's like the whole day I'm thinking about that moment like, wow, that was great. Whew. Mucus on the stool. That's one of the other things. Inflammation. Inflammation is a big deal. And I don't want to get too deep into that part because that goes deep as well. Like I said, if you want to hear more about it, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now and we'll talk more about inflammation and we'll talk more about the intestinal tract. But right now, we're just talking about water. Did I say 10? 11. Headaches. Headaches is another sign. So if you're dealing with a major headache, 9 times out of 10 or maybe 8 times out of 10, it has a lot to do with lack of water. So keep filling up, and maybe you might need to get some rest as well. So fill up on the water and then take a quick nap. And if that doesn't help, I have another trick that may help. But we don't want to talk too much about the headaches. If you want to continue to learn more holistic ways, then please, you know what to do. 12. Muscle cramps. If you're feeling like you're cramping, you're stiff, having some unsolved reasons, drink some water and get it in your system consistently, because now it's affecting you not on the external level but internal. And we don't want the internals to cause more issues, because once it goes internally, then now you're dealing with severe issues. Okay, and we want to pump the brakes on that. So get that water in your system. 18. Ladies, UTIs, urinary tract infections. Those babies right there. A lot of times when we're dealing with UTIs, it can be 2 good reasons, not limited to, but 2 good reasons. 1, of course, lack of water, and then 2, here we go again, you know, sugars. Because now the sugars are just exploding and going whack, and then you have no water to hydrate the body, to bring the body back to its neutral state. So drink up. Sugars, they go in and they dehydrate. That's why people who have sugar diabetes, they get amputated limbs and toes and things of that nature, because sugar issues. Sugar goes in and sucks it all out. The sugar wants to return to his whole state. It once was a sugar cane, and now when it goes into you, it wants to go back to being a sugar cane. So it's going to suck the water out of you. Just think about a raisin. Raisin was once before, in its precious lifetime, a grape. And then now it's been turned into a grumpy old raisin, all dried up and shriveled up and grumpy. But then when you eat it, it wants to go back to its youthful state. When it goes into you, it begins to rejuvenate itself by sucking the water out of you. And then now it's causing different effects like the ones I've already mentioned, and then the UTI is causing the yeast to go crazy. 14. Here we go, you guys. You ready for this? Sugar and carb cravings. As a holistic practitioner, I hear this all the time. I am always craving carbs. I'm craving sugars. One of my questions that I always ask is, how much water are you taking in? And this right there is a lot of times a problem solver, besides detoxing it completely out. If you guys are interested in a nice detoxer that's very natural and holistic, I think you guys should check out my website, 333 Healing. This thing has been doing some remarkable things when it comes to stopping the cravings with sugar and carbs. And if you don't know already, sugar and carbs, they go hand in hand. But water will most definitely stop that issue, especially if you already ate and you're feeling hungry again shortly after eating. Then you might want to take another cup of water or 2 to go ahead and tame that extra craving that you may have, because your body is not hungry anymore. So drinking a cup of water before a meal and drinking a cup of water 30 minutes after a meal and thereafter until you logically believe that the food that you just ate is digested. Don't let the sugar and the carb cravings fool you, because they can. So drink up. 15. Now we're at the end, and here we are with the worst case scenarios. Kidney and bladder. Your body needs to function properly and on its proper rhythm. Not taking in enough water can result into kidney infections, and you don't want to deal with kidney infections, because if you continue that trend and if you continue to have these radical cravings of sugars and carbs, they are very powerful and they can take over your mindset, and then they will make you ignore the greater issue at hand, which is kidney issues and bladder issues. Your body has to filter out things the proper way, and your bladder and your kidney must be in perfect functionality in order for this to happen. So don't fail yourself by having lack of water, because the end result will be death, and we don't want to deal with that. If you don't want to deal with these problems, then you really need to start finding a better way to stay on track. Here are some extra tips that I can give to you to help you stay on track with your water intake. Apps. There are drinking apps. There are free drinking apps that you can stay on track with when it comes to making sure you're taking the right amount of water. We've already talked about going to the store, your local store, to get a big container that would hold a nice amount of water for you on a daily basis, and it will also tell you how much you have been taking in, so you can stay on track. Even if you have to guzzle it down at the end of the day just to get it in, do so, because your body will thank you. Now, don't drink too much at one time, because your body is only going to discard it just as fast as you took it in. But drink up as much as you can, even in the middle of the night if you have to. Another tip that I have for you is taking your smartphone or your regular phone and doing an alarm and marking your time every 30 minutes to drink. Taking 8 ounces of water, even if it's every 45 minutes. If you're not a water drinker, don't trip. It's easy to get addicted to water. Your body will crave for it, and you'll realize how much you were missing beforehand and how important it was for your body, because your body will tell you, hey, thanks a lot. And now that you're addicted to the water, I'm going to show you how much I need it in my life, in your life that is. And the more water you drink, the more water you're going to want naturally, not by your choice, but because your body said so. I hope this video helped somebody. If you think it was helpful for you, go ahead and hit that share button and share with those who you love the most, and make sure you do the same for yourself. Until the next video. Salud.